Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dice the milk up regularly. And at this point, we're just talking about the internet and just stuff in general. But I am alive after getting the flu for a week, the week before finals. So, yay! That helps. And I actually thought of today's topic when I was studying for finals earlier this week because it has to relate to that. I know you definitely know this by now because you clicked on the channel or the video, but I'm still talking to you about it. But anyways, so as you might have seen, today we're going to be talking about the rise in anti-intellectualism. So I originally thought of this idea. Before getting into it, I want to explain the backstory behind it. But I was just sitting, I spent 3 days writing an essay reflecting upon my writing for my final for college. No, not college. College writing. Hopefully I edit this, and I was just sitting there intensively typing and just listening to my music, and my brother walks in and he's like, "Why are you typing like that?" And I'm like, "I have to write an essay for my final because it's finals week." And then we ended up having a conversation because he's like, "Just use an AI generator." And I'm like, "This is my final. Do you think I'm gonna risk it all on an AI generator? This is my final. Okay?" But after that, the first thing I did, I was like, I need to make a video about this. So that's why we are here today and we are talking about this, because I've had some recent realizations. And it ties in to the ever-growing parts of anti-intellectualism, especially amongst the internet. So, very long intro, but at this point, we're diving headfirst into a discussion about anti-intellectualism and my thoughts behind it. So, on the internet, especially TikTok, I've been noticing the discussion of anti-intellectualism. And it's not really something that I thought about up until people started talking about it, of course. Because, once that idea is planted in your head, you'll just find yourself, randomly thinking about it. Right now, or when you're in the middle of doing an English final. But besides the point, there's just something about anti-intellectualism for me that's so unsettling at its core. It's just the thought of going back into something like the Dark Age. I know we're not actually going back into the Dark Ages, but the thought of an idea like this being brought into our society more. And, the moment I started to realize, oh shit, this is something, I started to notice it more and more, especially when, consuming media and interactions through social media after this. Because it made me think a lot more, and especially when consuming TikToks. Because I know one of my favorite sorry, I still have a cough. One of my favorite YouTubers, Semantics, made a video about this earlier that I watched. But she talked about how there's been a rise in anti-intellectualism, especially amongst the Family Guy edits and all the Family Guy videos. I swear I'm editing this out. And I also think that, of course, it has to relate to all like the sensory videos and all those Subway Surfer Reddit videos. Oh my god. But a lot of stuff like that. And especially within the pandemic and all of this, it's it's seeming like our attention spans are starting to get shorter and shorter. Like I already know like my attention span has been significantly shortened, but I've figured out ways around it, of course. But videos like these aren't really helping. And it's like the ways of like consuming this content and just I don't even like just trying to only like consume these short pieces of content, turn off your brain and not think about anything, which of course has to do with anti-intellectualism, because if you spend all of your time turning off your brain, it's not going to be good. Because I'm not saying you have to like constantly be thinking, you have to be pondering the existence of the world, because oh my god, that gets tiring. Like, okay, who has the time to like constantly think about the existential stuff within life and slowly question their reality and send them into an increasing depression where they realize nothing is real? But we don't have to do that every single day, y'all. Like, it's okay to turn off your brain sometimes, but we're getting closer to the point where people keep on doing that and they keep going for content like that, where like they specifically turn off their brain or they just try not to think, because it is a way of coping within modern society, because that also of course has to relate to all the anti-intellectualism, but because we're in just such a bleak society right now where I feel like I can't even go a day without seeing something horrible happening or hearing it on the news. Like, we have reasons to want to turn our brains off. And especially, like, I know growing up being told, oh, everything's going to be okay, like, you're going to get a job, everything's going to work out, but looking ahead and seeing the future isn't that good from the perspective of all the problems we have. There's always change, but there's, of course, the reason to want to turn our brains off. But if we keep on doing this, there isn't going to be change. And there isn't going to be all these new ideas or new ways of expression or art and music and media and film, all of this stuff, if we just keep on heading down this path. And I've also noticed the trend of AI art and all the AI art generated stuff, and that is also fueling the anti-intellectualism. Because I understand society, especially recently, like, they haven't viewed artists the best. And artists aren't really, like, treasured as much unless they get very famous, they're dead, or they create their art through music or film or TV shows or movies. Like, or books even, authors. But like those kinds of art. And so with the rising trend of the AI generators, it seems like it's starting to show another decline in appreciation for artists. And of course, there's been the pushback towards it, but the way that people have been treating general artists after all the AI generated art and stuff can show that we are upon a time of anti-intellectualism. Because just the thought and the process behind, oh, art is easy, oh, I can just press one button and have art made, is going towards anti-intellectualism ideas and values. Because the idea of thinking art can be generated, art is basic, art is all this stuff, defeats the purpose of art. And I know, saying as an artist, like, there's so much more put into art than just paint or colors or big anime titties. There's so much emotion, and there's so much of the artist poured into the art. And by using the AI generator, it completely strips the AI art of all that purpose and all that emotion and feeling and purpose behind it. And the way, and especially like spreading it around on the internet, it feels like it's starting to devalue the other art shown on the internet, especially within the art community, because people are thinking, oh, well, it can be replicated through a machine. Why do we have to have people do it anyways? And that's where the problems start to come in. But enough about art. And what I also noticed is another part of the rise in anti-intellectualism is all the pushback against consuming media in a certain way. Because I understand it's a lot of fun to like just sit back and watch a nice show or a nice comfort movie, keep it that way. But like when people on the internet talk about like they discuss film or they talk about like in depth about their favorite shows or like books and literature and all this stuff, and like go in depth and look greater into the meaning and interpret it and look through music and albums and really examine it and appreciate it, there's been a pushback. It's very apparent for literature and books, but there's been a pushback against it. Though I do have to say, only exception, you know those film bros. Those ones. Yes, I'm talking about those ones. Because they're the only ones that are exempt from all of this. Yes, I do hold some personal beef with film bros after I had one of them say in the course I was actually talking about earlier, he talked about how food deserts are a myth because I've never seen one. See, it's anti-intellectualism like that. It's like that perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about. It's the thought of not questioning your own thoughts, opinions, experiences, medias, the way you consume everything. It's that is the problem. But back to art. And I understand that there are people out there doing it and consuming art in this way. But I've found that it's greatly decreased, or at least people will get bullied for it. And I know I had this realization, especially surrounding the appreciation of media and the greater meaning behind it, when I watched Moon Age Daydream. Oh my god, talking about the Bowie hyperfixation? I swear, this is really a raw, unfiltered me. But when I watched that documentary, it changed my perception on the whole way of reality in media and how we were placed in this world. And it made me view art in this whole different lens. And I mean, I've been consuming art and music in film in such a different way just from that documentary alone. But it also made me realize all of the ideas and all the values like surrounding anti-intellectualism that have been planted within the internet. Because again, not saying you have to be intellectual all the time, but there's really been like a devoid sense of it. And I think that's something that people need to reflect upon individually, because the hard part of anti-intellectualism is you can't really combat it through, you can bring light to it through influencers and YouTubers and all these people, but you can't change perspectives that way. To really fight the anti-intellectualism, you have to be the one to fight it. Like, you're not going to have your favorite YouTuber come to your house and be like, yo, this is how you change all of your ideas. This is how you change how you think in your brain. This is how you stop watching the Family Guy videos. No, they don't have the time to do that. I don't know. Maybe I do over my break, but also I'm broke, so I cannot go to everybody's house and bang on their door and be like, hey, I see you watching those. Stop watching the Subway Surfer videos. But it all comes down to you, the viewer, or the listener. I don't know what you're doing. You're just here with me. But it all comes down to you and how you question everything. Because there can't be change unless you start that change in the mindset. And that's where the whole problem with this rise of anti-intellectualism is going to keep on going. Because if people don't start questioning their mindsets and their thoughts and their thinking and their appreciation of media and all this stuff, it's going to keep on happening. And it's only going to get bigger. And I know, my opinion, I would not like to go back into a dark age. No, thank you. I'm good. And we also have to be careful with AI, because seeing the rise of AI creating writing, which also has been starting to affect schools and all this stuff, and how, like, I remember I read something about how teachers couldn't tell the difference between AI writing and students writing. It's all of this stuff, and we just need to realize it, and we have to examine it, because we're not going to grow as a society or as the internet if we don't realize that all this stuff is going on. And again, I'm not taking credit for any of these ideas. They're not completely original, because again, it's a new topic that has been discussed this week, but it is a rising concern. And I think if we all just stopped and thought about this and really like questioned our ideas, we could turn it into something good instead. Because instead of plunging into the dark ages, I mean, we could have another renaissance. Because that's another thing that I've been hearing, is people talking about when is Gen Z going to have their renaissance. Because as seen in history, when you come out of a gilded age, there's a renaissance and an enlightenment, and that's what we need. That is the true combator of the anti-intellectualism. Because, of course, the Gilded Age is associated with anti-intellectualism and all those closed-minded ideas and beliefs. So, I mean, we just gotta casually start our own little renaissance, you know. The casual stuff. Hey, I believe in us. Okay. I mean, we're still alive, so we can do more. But anyways, that's my thoughts on anti-intellectualism and how it affects the internet, and it really does affect communities surrounding the consumption of media and music. But again, all it comes down to is the individual. Because this problem, you can't just walk up, knock on someone's door and be like, stop anti-intellectualism. Stop. 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 Like, no. That's not how it works. Hi, this is editing me. I might be sick again too, but I just wanted to say that was a video to listen to. I hope it was at least entertaining. This is coming out so late because holidays and I'm sick again. But stuff like this keeps on happening. But without further ado, I'm gonna let past me get into the wrap up. Have a good, happy New Year or New Year's Eve whenever you're hearing this. Okay, I am going to wrap it up now. But thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked me talking about anti-intellectualism. This is going to need a shit ton of editing because, okay, I like it whenever my favorite YouTubers would talk about this. That's why I always do it, but it's currently 2 a.m. and 2 a.m. on a Friday night. No, technically Saturday now. 2 a.m. on a Saturday, and it's snowing out. And I'm like, anti-intellectualism. Might as well talk about it while my hairspray is drying on my charcoal. But, I don't know. Again, I just want to share all these thoughts bouncing around my head. So I guess this is more like, it's not really a rant style video. It's just my thoughts. But it is my ramblings at this moment. I don't know if I'm going to keep this in or not, but oh my god, the snow looks pretty. I probably do not have a picture to show, so pretend you're back in elementary school and you're looking at the window at the snow and you're screaming because you're a child and snow. Though honestly, I would still scream at snow now today. I would scream right now, but it's 2 a.m. The way and how am I waking up anybody else in my house? But even if you don't have snow, I'll give you a snowball. Honestly, if you're listening this far into the video, hell yeah, I'll give you a snowball and a cookie. It's like that old TikTok trend of, to the 5 people always liking my post, what do you want from the gas station? Yeah, that's y'all. Actually, comment what you want from the gas station, because I will pick up some food for the 5 of y'all. Okay, I swear, if there are more than 5, I'll still pick up food for you guys, but I'll just be like, how? Anyways, I need to go to bed, and you probably need to continue your homework. I don't know. That sounds about right. But I will probably be releasing, let's see. But hopefully you're on some sort of break while listening to this, because editing is weird. But break is fun. But anyways, thank you for listening to a discussion of anti-intellectualism at 2 a.m. amongst the snowfall. Very on brand for anti-intellectualism. And the discussion behind those topics. But anyways, I hope y'all are having a good time, a good month, a good rest of 2022. If it's 2023, what the hell are you doing? You're time traveling. I see you. But that's it. And thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Normal YouTuber stuff? Oh my god. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Make sure anti-intellectualism doesn't bite you in the ass on the way out. Bye!